Hey there YouTube, it is Hex again. I'm back with another video. You guys are on a tripod, so I'm trying like a new setup here to kind of film so it's easier for me to film these types of videos. I am prepping for some orders that have to go out, and I'm actually making one of our spiritual baths. It's a spiritual bath salt style bath, so it's really easy to use. And this one is the Dragon's Blood bath. This is a formula that I created myself. It's a very special formula that helps with all areas of love, luck, money, protection, cleansing, purification, all of the stuff that Dragon's Blood is known for, but in a bath form, so it helps to add power to those workings, so you can kind of use it in conjunction with just about any type of work that you want to do. I had a client to place an order with the shop, and she did order a bath. As you guys can see here, we have a bowl. This is a special blend of salts, very particular kind of salts. The base salt though is Epsom salt, which is always good to soften the water. It's purifying. Epsom salt is also a type of saline laxative, if you were to take it internally. And so it's very cleansing for the body. And then we have a special blend of salts and sea salts and blessed salts in here as well. Yeah, and that's kind of the base for the bath. So I want to kind of walk you guys through what we do here, as far as how we make it. So then, for the Dragon's Blood bath, I like to add orange pieces. So I have some dried oranges here. We actually dry these ourselves. We're near some orange groves, so we have access to some really nice oranges, and I like to just break them up into pieces, and put them in the bath. Push this back out of the way, guys. That way I don't knock it over. Orange is very cleansing, and very purifying. Also, it's very protective. Orange pieces are not traditionally hoodoo. This is more of a witchcraft take on a spiritual bath. Like a traditional, like European witch kind of a thing, would be what oranges are used for, and hoodoo oranges are used for other things. But this is what I'm using it for in this particular bath. It's for protection, power, purification. I'm going to put a whole slice here. If you guys are hearing me go silent, it's not because I'm not talking, it's not like I have anything to say. It's just I am enchanting, and I'm thinking of this person as I'm putting the intent and energy into it. Now I'm going to mix into the salts. When we make a batch of these salts for a customer, when you purchase a bath from us, we have two forms that you can choose from. You just have to let us know in the notes that you would like it in what form. Otherwise, the default would be the spiritual bath salts. We also make it in a bath bomb form. So if you like a bath bomb better, then you'll get one bath bomb per order. Whereas the spiritual salts give you, potentially, depending on how much you're using or how much you feel like you need, 2 to 3 baths per order. Okay. Next, you guys will kind of see I have a special blend of herbs here. And I enchant and rub. If you guys hear the TV in the background, I am keeping our 4-year-old busy so I can work today. So sorry about that. I'm used to it, so it doesn't really interfere with my focus at all. Alright. And I mix and keep enchanting. I like to mix all my dry ingredients first before I add any oils, or waters or liquids, whatever you decide to add to your spiritual baths. I like all the dry ingredients to get together first and kind of marry their energies and start to work that way, and really give it a good mix. Now, for those that we occasionally, spiritual baths that we make have loose herbs in them, as well as in the bath bombs. We do offer a few forms, like I was saying. We offer the loose, which is how you can make it. Something that we're one of the only ones that really do that. We offer it in a bath bomb form. And then that's just a little more convenient for some people, especially for if they're traveling or maybe they're taking the spiritual bath not at home, but they need it. They can do that. And we also offer an herb-free version. And so what that means, the clients will just let us know in the notes. When you place an order through our shop, there's an options for notes to seller. And they would just let us know that sorry guys, I was snapping away some loose salts out of my ring. The clients will let us know that they want an herb-free version. It is kind of tricky if you're not careful. You don't want to necessarily wash all the herbs down the drain unless your plumbing can handle that. So I recommend, if you want an herb-free version and you don't want to have to strain the bath salts through like a piece of stocking to drop in, which will contain the herbs, but you'll still get it in your bath, we make an herb-free version. And so what that is it's just additional essential oils into the bath, and that way there's no loose herbs. So you're still getting the bath, but it's just an oil bath instead. It works just as effective. It just depends on the person and obviously their situation. I personally love taking a spiritual bath with the herbs in there. I feel like I get more connection to the spirits of the plants. So that is an option as well. Don't feel like you have to have the herbs. If you have the essential oils, it works just as fine. You just need to make sure you're praying and enchanting and connecting to the spirits of those plants and the spirits of your ancestors or whoever it is that you work with. Next, as you guys can see here, we have like a measuring glass. This is our dragon's blood infused oil. So I'll set this here so you guys can kind of see. Our dragon's blood infused oil is a creation that I make, and it takes 4 weeks per batch to make. So I grind up authentic dragon's blood resin. It's a very expensive resin to acquire. And from where I source it, it's completely wild harvested, which means it's like its purest form. It's not grown on a farm somewhere. It's from the trees in the wild. And it's sustainably wild harvested, which means they're not killing the trees for it. So we grind it into a fine powder. I put it in a jar, and then I take some base oil that I use, and I pour that over it, and I let it infuse, and I charge it every day with my intention for 4 weeks. So it's a very powerful oil. We actually sell our dragon's blood oil like this as well, in a 1/2 ounce bottle, if you would prefer that. So that's something that we also do. The dragon's blood oil is also how this bath gets its colorant. It's the red that you guys are seeing in this oil is not a food coloring. It's not a pigment or a mica. This is actually the color of the dragon's blood resin, staining the color of the oil. So in this little jar here that I have, it's the base oil with the dragon's blood resin that has been infused for 4 weeks and charged. It has some vitamin E oil, which that acts as a natural preservative and a shelf life extender for the oil, so it takes longer for the oil to go rancid. And that goes into all of our oil-based products, and that way they give you the longest shelf life possible without using a chemical preservative. And then it has a special blend of essential oils. The special blend of essential oils is a special formula to us, so we're not going to reveal what that is. But when you smell it, you'll be able to smell a couple for sure. You'll know kind of what two of them are. But it's a very special blend for us. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that in. Now with the salts, you don't need a lot because salt is not very absorbent. So the oil will mix in just fine, but it's not going to soak up. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and mix that in. And I make sure that I get in there. And I'm not afraid to get in with my hands. A lot of people, I'm making this as a spiritual bath. A lot of people are like, oh, you're not wearing gloves? You don't wear gloves? No. I like to touch it. I like to feel it. I feel like gloves will interfere with the energy transference that I'm doing. And while I'm doing this, I'm really putting in that intention for what they are. And I just spilled some everywhere. So when you're doing this, guys, be careful. Don't do what I just did and spill it everywhere. It's not a big deal. There's one final dry ingredient I'm going to add. This is the only dry ingredient that I add after. I've kind of started mixing. It's okay, you guys, to make a mess a little. It's, root work and witchcraft. They're not clean. It's not about being clean. It's about the intention, and it's about the energy you're putting into it and the work that you're doing. You guys probably cannot see it on camera here, but the Dragon's Blood bath has a very pale pink tint to it. And that's the idea behind it. It's not meant to be this super synthetic color. Like, we do have some spiritual baths that use color therapy. So they are tinted with other colors using sugar-based food colorants, so that they're still natural. They're not a synthetic dye. They're not like a clothing dye or something crazy like that. This one here is completely natural. There's no synthetics in this at all. The essential oils are all super high quality therapeutic grade. Some of the highest quality you can get on the market. And then, everything we do, we try to make as well as possible. I just keep mixing, and as I'm mixing, I'm pouring energy and intention into the bath. I just want to make sure it feels right. Yeah. All right. And then next, I'm adding rose petals. I actually crush red rose petals and apply them to the bath. This helps with love. If you're using this for any type of love working. These are roses that I dried myself. This particular dozen roses that I dried myself are specifically dried for love working. So that's the energy behind the petals that we're using. And the reason I add the rose petals last is rose petals are actually, when they're dried, they become kind of absorbent and they can kind of break down a little bit. So I like to add them last so that when I pour the oils in, they don't soak up a lot of the oil, and that they can mix easily into the bath. I'm going to give it one final mix and just enchant a little further. And that is pretty much how you make our Dragon's Blood spiritual bath. Again, I left out some ingredients. I didn't tell you guys what was in the herb mix. It's a very special, proprietary formula for us here at the Mysterious Spirit. It's something we created, but you can do this yourself with any herbs, whatever feels right for you. You can do that. It's really about how you're enchanting it and what you're putting forth. But yeah. So that is how you guys make a spiritual bath. Then essentially, once this is made, the client will then take the spiritual bath and pour a little bit into her bath water, and then she will bathe in it, soak in it. And then you can even add this to like a mop bucket if you wanted to use this to do something for your home and mop your floors with it. There's just so many ways to use a spiritual bath. I did a little bit of a video on that before, and as time goes on, I'm going to introduce you guys more to how to utilize these and why you would need to, and I will actually show you how to use them as well. So yeah, thanks so much guys for watching, and until next time, I will talk to all of you soon. Blessed be.